Greetings, my Israelite brothers, sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, natural, spiritual. I hope that this message and this live cam finds you all well. I wanted to tune in while I was in heavy traffic and take a few moments to come to you in a manner like this. It's not often I'm able to do this, but I want to do it now. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to tune in, and then we're going to get started. I titled this Background of Sabbath Debate Series. How you doing, Queen Cleo? How you doing? So while I am in traffic, I thought I would bring some information to you regarding the background of the Sabbath Debate Series. So I'm going to be probably posting another one sometimes within tonight or tomorrow. And let me give you the background of that. The Sabbath is a foundation. It's a very strong foundation that we must start off with. I think it's about the first thing or the first piece of truth that we come into, that we need to adhere to. Even before you learn anything else, you must learn the concept of the Sabbath. A lot of people may come into the truth but don't understand the Sabbath. So we wanted to take an opportunity to make sure this foundation is very clear to you. I take it very serious because it's a very serious subject. It is the number one item of attack that you're going to receive from your family members once you come into the truth. The reason is it's because it's something that is weekly visible and weekly being addressed, especially when you all of a sudden decide that you're going to worship on the seventh day and they're on the first day. It's in their face every week. And so because of that, what you're doing is going to be attacked. So the Most High put upon my mind to come up with this series called the Sabbath Debate Series, so that I can strengthen you, number one, and number two, give you short videos that you would need either to learn or to simply share with somebody when they present a question or a theory to you opposing the Sabbath. And the reason why I want to make them short is because the shorter they are, the more concise and to the point that they are. People can take a lunch break or a simple break, or while they're riding the bus or a passenger in the car, whatever the case may be, they can watch it very quickly and it's done short and sweet. So it takes a lot of time to do that because I'm trying to cram a lot of substantive information into 15 minutes. I want to keep them between 10 and 20 minutes. And that's not easy to do. In fact, that's very hard, but we're doing it. So I want to give you the background of that and why we are doing that. Because again, for my subscribers and viewers, I know that especially during this season, when you start to tell people you're not observing these days, it becomes discouraging to you, especially when you're not observing the Christmas thing, and then all of a sudden the Sabbath issue is always going to come up. And that Sabbath is going to always come up, always, because every week is something that you do, and it could be whether you're living at home or whether you have a spouse, whatever the case is, your family members, when you're no longer observing the first day as a day of worship, weekly you are going to be on attack. And so what I do when I put these videos together, I think that's important for you to know. I actually watch a lot of Sabbath debates. And when I watch these debates, I look at what the opposition puts on the table to try to say that the Sabbath does not need to be kept. Okay? So whatever they put on the table, that's what I address over that 10 or 15-minute lesson, so that when they put that there, you can at least, because these are the same things that your family members are going to put out on you. They're going to put the same thing that these debaters use to say that the Sabbath does not need to be kept. So one is to consider this. Number one, somebody's debating you on the Sabbath, and those that are against the Sabbath who observe or worship on Sunday, nobody's asking them where in the Bible is a command given that the first day is the day of worship. That's number one. And that should be the number one question that you should present on the table. Because what you do have is you have a command that states the seventh day is the Sabbath. Irregardless of what they use to say it's been changed, you should always ask, where is the Jesus or any of the apostles, anybody, where is the command that the Sabbath was changed from the seventh day to the first day? And let me just save you the time. It's not there. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere. The other question is, I like to get debates to present to those individuals that they're debating with, is what day in the scriptures was sanctified? What day? Out of 7 days in a week, which day was sanctified? And you will find that it was the seventh day. The first day was never sanctified. Only the seventh day was sanctified. The other thing is that when you put this stuff out there, it puts them on the defense. And they need to be on the defense. They need to defend Sunday worshiping. They need to defend it, and they can't. But what happens is, because Sabbath keepers are not the majority in America or anyplace else probably, you find yourselves having the necessity to defend what you're doing. Or in essence, the Bible, the scriptures defend us. So we need to put them on the defense. And that's the way to do that. So when I hear one of these debaters putting out things against the Sabbath, and like the Sabbath or the commandments was only given to the children of Israel, I address those issues because it's going to be brought to you. It's going to be brought, it's going to be put on the table. So that's one independently that I'm going to be addressing and within the next week. But this week, the one that I'm specifically addressing, and that is to put them on defense, is that most Christian pastors state that they observe the first day as the day of worship, because that is the day that the Messiah resurrected. And so within the next day or two, I'm going to be putting out a another Sabbath debate series video that's going to be about 15 minutes long, and it's going to address whether or not the Messiah resurrected on the first day. And if in fact that's the reason that they want to be in sync with the day that the Messiah resurrected, I'm going to show them in this 15-minute video with scriptures, that the Messiah resurrected on the Sabbath. It's right there in the scriptures. It's right there. So I'm going to address that. Therefore, if that's their position, then they need to start observing the Sabbath. So, but most people will tell you right off the bat, Christian pastors, teachers, debaters, when you ask them why do they worship on the first day and why do they think it was changed, they'll say Jesus changed it because it's the day of the Lord. It's the day of the Lord. And they consider the day of the Lord, or that phrase, the day of the Lord, which only appears in the book of Revelation, the day of the Lord. But they conceptually believe that the day of the Lord is the day that he resurrected, and being the first day of the week. So tune in for this video that's going to be coming out. I'm not going to spoil the information or what scriptures and all like that. I'm not going to get into it now. I'm just showing you the background of what and how I decide which videos need to be put out there. Of course, always with the help of the Most High, and just praying to make sure that the video that I'm putting out by title is the one that is going to reach somebody in a timely manner. So that's the background of that, and I think it's a very important project that's on the table. It's different from what we do every Sabbath. It's different from what we do on Friday night. This is a series and a project in and of itself. I will tell you, we are spread thin right now. A team that is able to help us during the Sabbath to get these videos out and stuff like that. And I want to thank those of you that support the channel, whether you're sharing or whether you're just tuning in, or whether you are a Patreon or all of the above. We thank you for what you're able to do and how you do it, because it does matter. It really does. I'm looking at these debates. I'm looking at them, and it just, some make during these debates, it just, what they put on the table, and it frustrates me. I was asked, why won't Sabbath? And not that. Here's why. I will do a local debate. But let me tell you what my is. When you say things like, show me in the scriptures that any stupidity. I don't understand how I can't spend 5 minutes answering a question in a debate where somebody gives me 5 minutes, and I could use that 5 minutes in a more productive way to bring in more scriptures to support the Sabbath. And that's my frustration with that. Here's another one that is hard Here's another one that is hard for me. Here's another one. I apologize for that. Here's another one that the commandments were only for the children of Israel. I'm like, how do you debate that? I mean, it's these are statements that are being made by mega pastors. I'm talking about mega pastors over mega congregations. People that are well respected in the apologetic community. When you make a statement like the commandments were only for the children of Israel, and that's it. And then when I see somebody ask, well, is it for everybody today? Well, yeah, the commandments are for the children of Israel. It's for Israel, but the Gentiles, they're not under that system. I mean, this is when you make a statement like that, and you want somebody who keeps the Sabbath, observes the Sabbath, knows the Sabbath, to respond to that question. The scripture comes into my mind: avoid foolish questions and genealogies. But here's what you're saying when you make a statement like that: that the Most High God, creator of the entire world, he has two different sets of standards for the world. He's got one for Israel, and he's got another one for Gentiles. That is the most asinine thing that you could put on the table, and I'm going to debate that issue. I'm not going to debate that issue. I mean, it's like, just simply read the word. Just simply read. I mean, when people ask a question or they present that as an argument, it's evident that they're not reading the book. So it's like I'm debating with a fool. And you got to be a fool to debate with a fool. So that's my issue. I'm not saying that I know everything, and but what I do know, I know it well. What I do know, I know it well. And those of you all that have been a part of my channel and ministry for a long time, if I don't know something, I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't know. You got to give me some time to look at that. I don't have the answer for that. I told somebody that this past week, over the weekend. I don't know. That's a very good question. Never thought about it. And then I'll tell them, give me some time, because that subject is not high on my priority list yet. So, but I will get to it, and I'll do that for people. People ask me, can I get them an answer? And I'll try. But what I do know, I know it. I know it very, very well. And I will tell you that when it comes to the Sabbath, I can debate it very well. So, but my choice is to address it in these little 10, 15-minute videos. Because my thing is, I'm going to ask somebody, and here's what you should ask people: where did that come from? Where did that come from? Whatever you're doing, where did it come from? What's the origin of it? It's just like Christmas. I ask people who are proclaimed Christians, why do you do the Christmas tree? And they'll tell you. I mean, I've got friends. They'll tell me, well, man, I don't know. I never really thought about it. It's just tradition. It's something that we've always done. What one person told me, you're asking me a question. It's almost like asking, why do you make turkey on Thanksgiving. That's what he said. It's almost like you're asking me, why do we cook a turkey on Thanksgiving? I don't know, but you should know. You should know. And this is, I would rather wake people up to start to look at why you do something and opposed to attacking them. Try a different tactic. When Easter rolls around, ask people, why do we do the bunny rabbit and lay eggs? Where did that come from? And then, because we are in the era of technology, or the era of information technology, you can just simply put something in and Google, and I mean, you got some pretty good credible sources that is going to give you some good reliable information. And that's the era that we're living in. So back to the Sabbath debate series, when I hear things and arguments that people are putting on the table, what I'm doing is I am simply just extending that thought as to give you a foundation to hit people and to defend what you have come into the truth on. Okay? So let me tell you right now, the number one thing that people are going to get you with when you come out of, when you come into the Sabbath, the first thing people are going to hit you with is that, well, we do it because that's the day Jesus resurrected from the dead. And they say that because they heard somebody else say it. But in this next video that we're putting up this week, you're going to see, and we're asking the question, did the scriptures really say he resurrected on the first day of the week? And I beg to differ. The scriptures I'm going to show you is going to really show you he did not resurrect on the first day of the week. Did not do it. And I want to show that to you, all using the King James Version Bible. And every fact that I put on the table will be established by 2 or 3 other scriptures to support what I put on the table. The Bible is written in such a way that nothing is said unless it's stated multiple times in other places. So we're going to show that to you. But that is the foundation, the main foundation of why people worship on Sunday, opposed to the fact that they don't know why they do it. A lot of people genuinely do not know why they go to church on Sunday, just so you know. So when you come with your family, you have to understand a lot of them don't know why they do it. It's just something that, as I always say, mama and them did. You know, when you were little, that's the day you went to church on. You didn't ask no questions. And when you grew up and got married and had children in the family, you continued the tradition. Didn't ask. You just went in there and you wanted to read the scriptures and serve and have a praise and worship good time. You didn't ask why the day. Some people had not been exposed to it. Okay? And where did they get it from? They got it from slavery. And where did slavery get it from? They got it from the slave masters. Where the slave masters get it from? They got it straight when they came here on Plymouth Rock. It's something that was brought over. And where did it come from? It came from Catholicism. Even though the individuals that came were Protestants and Lutherans and Presbyterians, don't matter what they were, they came over practicing a doctrine that was given to them. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. People don't know why. I would say 90% of the people have no idea that Sunday worship has a nexus to worshiping the sun. 90% of the people do not know that worshiping on a Sunday has a nexus to idolatry, and that it was presented and it was intentionally put on that day to coexist with worshiping the sun. A lot of people just don't know that. I'm telling you, they don't know. So this is where education and awareness has to come in at. And so when you are trying to show a loved one or a spouse, you have to do it in love and kindness. This is why over the past 3 weeks we did a series called Spiritual Growth. And remember, one of the scriptures is, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. So even when you sit down with people who don't understand what you're doing, the tone and the mannerism and your presentation has to be in a way that you're not condemning, but you're trying to show them the truth. Now, I would tell you, I would be the first one to tell you, I don't tiptoe when it comes to pastors. I hit them hard with it because they know better, or at least they should know better. Okay? So, but there are some pastors who will come and say, well, man, I really don't know. I mean, show me what you're talking about, because I always thought that this was the day of worship. I thought that was the Jews' Sabbath. And I thought we worship on Sunday because Jesus rose on a Sunday. And they'll tell you that's what I thought. So these are the things that we have to deal with when you're dealing and teaching other people. I'm going to say hello to the chat room, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Let's see who we have here. Got to put on glasses for this. Vinward1. Shalom. I don't know that name by chance, but it seems like you know me. Put in where you're from. Miss B, how you doing? Rodney, how you doing, my brother? You can worship any day of the week, but the Sabbath is a must. Absolutely. AC Sniper, you should be a slave. Okay. Greetings, Lady J. How you doing? Let's see who else we have in Creek. Pastor, they always said they can worship on any day they want because of the lying pastor telling them. This is so bad. I'm thankful for the truth. Well, and we should be glad that we come into the truth, because the Almighty has really opened up our understanding when he does that. How you doing, KT? Daniel, how you doing? I haven't seen you in such a while in the chat room. Brother Mark P, how you doing? Sister E, how you doing? I hope that you're able to pass that information. I tried to call you. I definitely need to speak to our brother. I want to give him some information regarding the Zoom format that I think will help him very, very well. I see something there, the way he's doing it, but I got something for him that will definitely take him to a different level. So if you can get that information to him as soon as possible, I appreciate it. I just need to talk to him for about 2 minutes. You all check out Sister E's channel there. She's in the room. Check her out. She's got something she's got going on. So that being said, I got to take this phone call. Peace, and we'll talk later.